Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Leroy Mann and today we're going to be unboxing a haul from Solaris, Japan. Here it is. It's quite a big one. It's going to be blocking the camera a bit, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Open this thing up, and then I'm going to move this box out of our way as soon as I get it open, get into it. This was a very, very large box. I was not expecting one quite this big. This is very big. We got to do one more cut across the front, and we should be able to get in. Despite this box being so... Despite this being so large, there are only 2 figures inside. Of course, very good packaging, and there's the inside of that. If you can see, I'm going to flip it all the way over, but there's only 2 figures in here. Here's the first one. Once I get this out and out of the way, we'll take a closer look. Here's one of them, very large for a 1/7. Let's talk about this figure first. If we can get into it. This is a figure that I've been wanting for quite some time, and I kind of waited for the price to go down a little bit, because sometimes it's Solaris or even Ami. If a figure is sitting in the warehouse for a while, they'll lower the price. And in fact, I didn't get this one at as low of a price as I possibly could have, but I'm still happy with it, so I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger while I was making an order anyway, put it in there with the combined shipping. But here it is. This is Rebecca Bluegarden Art FXJ figure. Of course, if you've seen this channel, you know that I love Art FX figures, and if this is like most other Kotobukiya figures, we should be able to just open this right up and it'd be mostly assembled. We might have to do a peg, but it should be about all we have to do, but we'll see. I'm trying to go through this pretty quickly just because I had a little bit of time to do this, so I decided to go ahead and do it and get it done. So let's go ahead and get inside the blister. We got in there just fine. There are some instructions on the bottom, probably about her gun. Yeah, well, she has 2 guns actually, so we'll have to do that. Here's the base. Looks like it's a double peg, which I'm a fan of. That's just a symbol of the, like, their spaceship, their thing that's in the show. If you don't know anything about Eden Zero, it is basically Fairy Tail in space. It's the same creator that did Fairy Tail. So there she is. Very nice. I knew I wanted this figure. It does seem a little small compared to, it should be a 1/7, but I guess maybe that is about this size. But as for Kotobukiya standards, this seems a little bit small. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and peg this. This looks like a really simple one. It has this little clear part. It's kind of like up on her toe, sort of. So it looks like this should be pretty easy. It should just go right on there. Yeah. That might have been the easiest peg I have ever done on this channel. And you love to see that. It's always nice to have a nice peg. So let's take a look at these instructions. So you just put the gun in her hand. You might have to wiggle her fingers around just a tad. This is giving me a little more trouble than I would like, but that's usually the way things are when they're like when figures are holding something, it's always like this. Okay. So it should be a little further down. Because her. There we go. That's perfect. So you just have to kind of wiggle it around, make sure the gun gets in there, and her finger will go around the trigger. And then you're just going to take these two little pieces and clip those in, which is very simple. They just go right in. It's pretty easy. And then that is going to be all the assembly for this figure, which was not bad. Not bad at all. So here's another look at her. I'll put her on the spin disc after this, but there she is. Like I said, this is a figure that I've wanted. I've had my eye on for a long time. It came out in February. I just didn't get it right then, but I knew by looking at it I would really like this figure because I love Rebecca as a character. And Kotobukiya just always makes a solid figure. They rarely miss. Just looking at it, it's just a real quality figure, quality character. I see no real downside at the moment. The only thing is maybe there's a bit of a not a crease. Well, I guess a crease in her hair, but that's me being very nitpicky. For ArtFXJ, you get exactly what you pay for. You get a quality figure of a nice character. Of course, the character is really up to your own opinion. But yeah, I don't see a thing wrong with this figure. Very well done. Good paint, good pose, a decent base. You know, they didn't just do a black base. They put an actual little bit of logo on there, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this figure. Very, very nice. And we're going to set her to the side. You probably can't see that, but it needs to be out of my way because this box we're about to open is quite large. And this is a figure I looked at before, but I decided that price is way too high. It is a cool figure, but the price is just too much for me. But Solaris had a bit of a sale. That's kind of what prompted this order. They had a sale, and they were giving away bonus points for certain figures, and this figure was on sale and is getting bonus points. So I decided to pull the trigger and pick it up, and as you can probably tell, this is a Star Wars figure. This is not an anime figure. This is my first kind of figure that's not anime, believe it or not. And I'm a big fan of Star Wars. I've probably never said that on a channel or anything. But this is also a Kotobukiya ArtFXJ. Or maybe it's just ArtFX. I don't know if you put the J on there. But this is the Mandalorian and Grogu, or Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call it, in a nice little scene. And again, this shouldn't be too hard to assemble. We probably have to put the gun in his hand. But wow, this looks massive. You know, I just opened it, took a look in there. This looks huge. Like way bigger than one. This is meant to be a 1/7. And this looks really big. Oh dear. This assembly is a lot. But look how big he is. This is a lot of assembly. Even Baby Yoda at the back, he's in pieces as well. So this is going to be a lot of assembly. I think I may cut this. I may put this together and cut back because this is going to take a while to put together. So I think I will do that. I'm going to put this all together and then I'll give my thoughts once I come back. Okay? Okay, I'm back. So let me just start off with this figure. This is a pretty nice figure, but let me tell you, this is an absolute nightmare to put together. Did you see how many pieces it was? In fact, I could tell you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you might be thinking to yourself, 6 pieces, that's not too bad. The problem is 7. Most of these pieces of this figure in the assembly are a bit tight. A lot of them don't fit real well. Oh, Baby Yoda is also in multiple pieces. So yeah, and you saw those. You saw that box when I opened it, and you saw all the pieces it was in. This figure comes with 0 instructions. 0 instructions? Even this figure, it was all in one piece except for these 2 guns, came with instructions. You're telling me that this model kit, basically, on a level, doesn't come with instructions? Oh my goodness. Okay, so aside from that, if we take a look at the figure, let me put Baby Yoda back down here. This is kind of where he's supposed to go, like looking around this corner. Let me pick it up. This is, I'll give you a look like this, but then I'll also give you a closer up look. So this figure is actually really nice. It's very big. It's very big for a 1/7, I feel like. I love the base. I love the action pose. Now I understand why it's a little pricey, but of course I got it on a sale, so it's a little bit better. Just to give some thoughts about it is, since this is from a live action show, you can kind of get away with it being like defective, if that makes sense. Because now instead of it looking like it's got like a bump or a scratch or a mark or something on it, it's just weathered. You can just say it's weathered. And it is weathered because there's a lot of like dirty marks, like a lot of intentional scuff to his armor here and there, especially in the crevices and cracks and creases and things like that. So that kind of enhances this figure, if you ask me, because if you get a bump on it, you can just say it's weathered. Now, when you have a figure like this, if there's like a big mark, it's like on her clothes or something, it's just very noticeable. You can see it, and you don't like that. But on this is like armor, weathered, dirty armor. So that kind of gives this figure a little bit of a plus. But for the most part, I don't have any real complaints other than the horrendous assembly and no instructions, no guide whatsoever. You just kind of have to put it together yourself. That's really the only big flaw in this figure. Other than that, I think it's fine. I think it's a great figure. It's big. It's unique. It's a good base. I mean, I'm kind of just saying the same things over again. But the number one hardest thing, of course, Baby Yoda here, his little fringe around his neck, like the top of his little clothing, it's like scarfy looking thing. That thing would not go on. I put a cloth over it and I hammered it down. I went bang, bang, bang to get that in. And the next part, the Mandalorian's helmet is kind of on a ball joint. Like there's a little bit of room to move it around a tad. So his head is on a ball joint, okay? But then there's a ball joint of his neck. So his neck piece is connected between two ball joints, and it's almost impossible to get on. Like I had to rip his head off and only have the neck joint, and I had to just to get that thing on there. And I don't like having to get so violent with my figures, so physical. So that's something I don't really like. You know, some people they probably don't mind something like that as much as I do. But anyway, if you're gonna buy this figure, this Mandalorian figure, you need to be prepared to get frustrated and spend like 30 minutes putting this thing together, and you're gonna have to get physical. You're gonna have to get physical with this thing, and I don't like that, but that's just the way it is, unfortunately. So that's all I've got for today's video, is these two figures for my little Solaris haul. So if you like this video, please consider leaving a like. If you want to see more content like this, you can subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs. Of course, I hit a bit of a bump in the road here, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going. Make videos every once in a while and just enjoy the journey. If there's anything you want to ask me, you can leave a comment down below, or if you want to ask me something more in depth, stay up to date with uploads and potential live streams, things like that, send me a DM. My Discord is in the description down below. Aside from that, I know I've been saying this for a long time, but a room tour video is coming. A room tour is on the way soon. You guys have a nice day. Have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.